Good Rainy Tuesdays, a podcast by friends for friends. It's been 84 years since we've recorded last, but the boys are back together again, and also we got Esther back, so it's a whole reunion.
Yeah.
Oh man, how you guys doing?
Good. It's been ages. Ryan and I haven't seen each other in like over a month.
Yes.
Esther, I've not seen you in
Years.
many moons.
So many moons.
Yes.
Esther, I think it's the opposite for us. I don't think I've seen you in like a week, maybe. Not even.
Yeah. Probably, well, because RE training was not that long ago,
Yes.
which is crazy.
Yeah, it feels like it a little bit, though.
Yeah, definitely. It's weird.
Fair enough. Yeah. Before we started this, we were talking a lot about Spider-Man. And I think we should continue talking about Spider-Man for just a few minutes, just because I feel like there's more to say. Highlights. Which is everyone's favorite Spider-Man?
Tobey Maguire.
Am I right?
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland?
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland? Okay. I change every time.
I did.
I have no loyalty to any of them.
I did, like, after watching this most recent Spider-Man movie, I do remember liking the Andrew Garfield ones a lot, because those are, like, the ones I saw when they came out in theaters, and we were still fairly young, maybe, like, early high school, middle school. Yeah. So, like, not at the age to really differentiate between good and bad movies yet. And I loved his movies, so.
He's a blast. Yeah. I do think that the love interest in it, Emma Stone, nice, is probably my favorite love interest. I love Zendaya a lot, but I do think Emma Stone really killed it. So, but I think it flip flops between Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield for me. I do love Tom Holland, but I don't know.
You know what I thought was interesting? In the most recent Spider-Man movie, Zendaya is just plain Zendaya compared to like the first two movies where it's like she's like a nerdy, awkward girl.
Yeah, she's much less awkward, which I suppose is they're like more grown up now.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes sense.
It works. It's not like a bad thing.
It's not jarring in any way, but it is like less of her weird kind of out there self that she is in the first Tom Holland one.
Fair enough. True. Yeah. I feel like Zendaya is low-key the new, like, Beyonce. Like, I feel like for a long time it was like, Beyonce, if she's in anything, you're just gonna be like, oh my god, it's Beyonce. And, like, it doesn't matter quality of what they're in, like, who cares? It's Beyonce. I feel like that's Zendaya now. And I feel like that's only become more and more evident with Dune.
I was gonna say with Dune, how much they marketed her for sure.
Yeah.
And
like
Euphoria.
Euphoria too. Like,
I haven't seen Euphoria.
I haven't seen.
I have not. I sort of want to watch it though.
Yeah, I have this like weird fascination. It doesn't sound like a show I'd ever want to watch.
Yes,
but it's so talked about that I kind of want to know what's going on there.
I want to be in the know. I have FOMO.
Yes.
Yeah. But I do also, like, the more I see about Euphoria, the less I think that it's all about her. I could be entirely off base because, again, I have not seen it.
I think she's one of many main characters.
Okay.
There's like 4 or 5.
But I just remember, like, the first season, like, whenever that was coming out, it seemed like it was, like, only about her, and then, like, there were side characters.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, lately I've seen, like, so many other characters talked about. So, I don't know. It's interesting. Yeah.
So why do you guys like Tom Holland so much?
Yeah.
I think he's the right mix between like quirky / weird and I don't know, quippy. Because Tobey Maguire was great. He's like classic Spider-Man, but he was so awkward. Like so awkward.
That's what I love about him.
It's wonderful.
Yeah. It's great, but honestly, at points rewatching that, I was like, "This is low-key uncomfortable."
I rewatched a little bit of the Andrew Garfield ones as well, and it's the same way for Andrew Garfield. Like when Andrew Garfield is playing Peter Parker, he's so awkward, and I get that that's the Peter Parker character, but I like Tom Holland's portrayal of awkward teen more than like a little bit incapable of talking to people that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield have.
Two very wonderful things to point out about the Tobey Maguire movies. One, the first one, pretty much just the first Twilight movie. This is not an original thought. This has been all over Twitter lately,
Really?
and boy, oh boy, is it accurate. Having seen Twilight somewhat recently, as in the past year, and then seen the first Tobey Maguire movie this past weekend. Yeah, same movie. Pretty much shot by shot.
Yeah, can
Not
you
having
explain that to me?
seen, not having seen the Twilight movies, but knowing the overarching concept of Twilight, I don't understand how
Yes.
that's
Same exact
possible.
thing. It's pretty much paraphrased. Hate to say it.
Well, Twilight did come later.
No,
so-
that's what I'm saying. They took it from Spider-Man.
Okay.
Is Twilight also a Thanksgiving movie?
Great question. But anyway, so they
Because in the first Spider-Man movie, they like stopped the movie to have Thanksgiving together, where it's like Aunt May,
Yeah.
James Franco, MJ, and Mr. Osborn for some reason, and they're all eating in Peter's
what a weird
apartment.
setup. Who thought that was a good idea? I know it was Aunt May, but sweetie, bad plan. It was actually James Franco's character's idea because he was like, I set this all up,
Mhm.
and then Norman like wildly insults her. But
Mhm.
anywho, so
Hey everyone, I had to be an old lady with a stick to get this cranberry sauce.
Right.
It's such an awkward line.
It's such a fantastic line, comedy gold. But no, so whenever MJ is like dropping her tray, and he like catches it and catches her, and he's like,
Yeah.
caught it.
Oh yeah, it catches everything.
Yeah. Well, in Twilight, Bella drops an apple,
Wow.
and
Is it
Edward
fishing?
catches it.
Wow.
That's not a
Resemblance uncanny.
There's.
So who is the Bella Swan equivalent in Spider-Man Tobey Maguire?
I think it ships. I think it's interchangeable. I think they're both Edward. They're both Bella.
I think it has to be one or the other.
No.
Yeah,
No,
I'm
no,
with
no.
Ryan here. I think in order to be shot for shot, as you said,
Hang on, let
we
me.
need an equivalent character.
You guys aren't even ready for this. But
Because there's not kind of the big part of Twilight is the love triangle, right? And there's
I hear you.
not a wait. Is there a love triangle? I don't think
Yeah,
there's a love triangle.
no,
in
Harry-
Spider-Man.
Not in the first movie.
Not technically. I mean, sort of, because Harry likes MJ, and
Yes.
Toby
But-
likes MJ.
But does MJ like Harry?
Well, she dates him.
She does
Oh,
date.
she does date him.
Is that in the first
Um,
one or the second one?
First one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
And then
Yeah,
also
this-
like their
Engages-
neighbors in the first one too, which I forgot about.
Yeah.
She gets engaged to the space guy,
That's right,
Mhm.
yeah.
Jonah Jameson's son, I think.
I think he's a werewolf in the comics.
What? The son is, or J.
yeah.
Jonah Jameson?
No, the son, the astronaut son. I'm pretty sure he's a werewolf.
The
I
son
think
also
the
brings
werewolf
back
is
the
in-
Venom.
is Twilight. I'm sorry, that's
symbiote,
it.
yeah.
I just did it.
He becomes Venom as well.
Yeah, and like some of the comics he does, because he's like, in some of the comics, like he is a spaceman. He like brings the Venom to Earth.
That makes sense. That makes more sense. Poor Eddie. In the wrong place at the wrong time. Well, actually, not poor him. He was a jerk off the entire time.
Oh my god.
I love that he went to church to be like, I don't believe in religion, but please kill this guy.
Yeah.
Like, this is crazy about that. I'm like, okay.
Mhm. I really like the second Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movie because it's just like everything goes wrong for him. It's like he's like he's failing in school. He like him and like Aunt May's a little upset with them because he like doesn't go to stuff. Him and MJ are like falling apart. Harry's mad at him. He's losing his powers. He like lost his job. Like nothing is going right for him.
That's like
And he still
quintessential
perseveres, yeah.
Spider-Man. Everything bad could possibly happen to him does.
Yeah.
And yet he still goes for it.
That's the thing with like the Tom Holland ones is like he always like gets like a setback, but nothing as bad. Like in the first one, he loses his suit and he has to like innovate.
Yeah.
Which like that's pretty creative, but it's also like he's still like got people for him. Like Tobey Maguire's got nothing.
But he did
I
almost
think-
die in that in that garage place. Like he got crushed
He did,
or
yeah.
almost crushed. That was like, because I was watching this. This is gonna sound really dorky, but I was watching this little review thing from the comics about like the quintessential Spider-Man, basically. And there was this one scene where he's like in like underwater for some reason, like crushed by this like pillar thing. He's exhausted, and he's trying to like get out because he's got to give Aunt May some sort of like serum to save her, and like he's just plagued by like guilt of like his uncle and Aunt May, and like he's like, I'm gonna lose them both, I can't lose them both. And it's just very much like he's like, but I'm a failure, I'm gonna die, like this is it. But then he overcomes, he ends up like throwing the things off, and I was like, I felt like that really paralleled with that scene in the comics. I was like, that's cool.
Very fair.
I also really like him stopping the train scene in the second movie.
Oh yeah, you gotta watch it, Adam.
Also, like, it's so silly. There's a part where Doc Ock robs a bank so he can like rebuild his science project, and the bank is literally filled with gold coins.
Classic.
And I don't think there's
Classic
any
bank
in the world
every
filled
single
with
bank.
gold coins.
What kind of banks are you going to that don't have gold coins?
Yeah.
I love. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just saying. Banks have gold coins.
They do. They do. I loved in that movie when Aunt May was so mad because Toby ran off to go become Spider-Man, and then the bank teller's like, wow, your son sucks.
Yeah.
Joel McHale.
I loved in the first Tobey Maguire movie how they, like, all the New Yorkers were like, you messed with one of us, you messed with all of us, because all I could think about was Holy Musical Batman.
I love that.
Yeah, it was wonderful. It was a good vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch the Hawkeye show? I assume not. Just
out of any of the ones that I might have watched, that was
I figured not.
I liked it.
I enjoyed it. You can probably skip it if you don't want to, but they do like this the Rogers musical of Captain America musical, and they have a full song for it. It's very reminiscent of Holy Musical Batman.
Love that. Oh my god.
And Ant-Man's in it.
And
Good.
Ant-Man's in it
Okay.
for no reason.
Tell me which episode that is, because I will just watch that.
I think the full music video is at the very end of the show,
Yeah.
like
Gotcha.
after credits scene after it ends. You can probably find it on YouTube though.
Yeah.
I'll look at that. That sounds glorious.
I really liked
The
how
song at least is
Yeah.
on Spotify, so I'd imagine that the video itself is somewhere.
Yeah.
I love that it's on Spotify.
I love how concise that show was. Like, it was just like, it ends, like, there's no like open threads. It's just a nice little story about getting home to family on Christmas.
It seems like it's a Home Alone sort of deal. I've only seen
little
like
bit.
2 episodes or 1 episode, but it was very Home Alone vibes.
It's good.
Home Alone remake, except instead of the recent Disney Plus one where it's just a stupid rich kid, it's just Jeremy Renner.
But playing
yeah.
a kid.
Everyone acts like he is like 10.
Yeah, he's like 10, but it's just Jeremy Renner.
It's
That's
just
amazing.
Jeremy Renner. So today we're gonna be talking about some awkward moments. And I decided to do
Almost
an
awkward as
transition
pretending
for it.
that Jeremy Renner is a 10-year-old child.
Perfect. Yeah. Yes. So I was watching a show the other day. I forget what show. Who's to say? But in it had one of those like things where one character. You know what it was? It wasn't even a show. I was confusing watching shows with watching Spider-Man. It was in Spider-Man.
That could have been our tie-in.
It could have been. It would have been great.
Really could've
You guys
been.
remember? I'm gonna cut all of that and pretend like this. I'm not gonna cut any of it. So you guys remember that scene in Spider-Man where he is? It's like at the beginning, and Mary Jane is there, and they're walking up to the museum, or I guess the science place where all the spiders are, and Mary Jane's like, hey, and then he waves back. But then like a group of girls
It's
walk
so
past
awkward.
him. Yeah, because she wasn't waving to him. She was waving to a bunch of girls that weren't him. And so then he's like, That was my Tobey Maguire noises. Thank you. So it's a silly little awkward moment. And we're gonna be talking about other silly little awkward moments and deciding which ones we think are awkward and which ones we think, like, if they are awkward, what do you do? And I think I've cracked the code on the wave one. I think because it is awkward. Can we all agree? For like waving when they weren't waving at you. Okay.
Definitely a quintessential awkward moment.
Yeah, classic. I have started doing this because it has happened to me in real life. Horrible. If that happens, I've started doing like the bro nod. Because that's so much easier to hide, but it does acknowledge them if they're acknowledging you.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Is that the fix?
What
I solve
I do
awkwardness?
is I like the wave and then the like scratch the back of my head.
Right.
Like the ooh.
Right.
It's
I was
your
just fixing my hair.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just like keep waving and walk past them.
Oh, make them feel insecure.
Yeah.
The switcheroo, Uno reverse card.
Oh my
And
god.
people be like, yeah, we were waving to each other.
Oh lord. Yeah. But so I have a list of other awkward moments. Okay. Okay. Stalking someone's Instagram and then accidentally hitting like. Oof. Is it awkward?
How do
Is
you
there any way to
accidentally
play
hit
it off?
like?
Like when you're like scrolling through someone's.
Like you might,
like,
because you can double tap for like.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Can
Go
you
like one of my
unlike it?
Instagram posts. You can unlike it, but they get a notification.
That you unliked it?
No, that you liked it.
So you're
so
screwed.
I have a clarifying question.
Okay.
Well, I guess this is maybe stupid, but I was gonna say, do people really know when you like to post? Because I would imagine, I know you can get a notification. I personally, not that I post very much, but I've turned
Yeah.
the notification for liking off because it's kind of annoying when
Yeah.
you do post and you just get like, I don't know how many likes,
Oh,
not very many, but
wow.
like 40, 50 like notifications, irritating. But like if you post regularly and you get notification for that all the time, how are you
yeah.
going to notice one person liking a post from a long time ago? Because I don't think it tells you what post they liked, does it?
I don't particularly remember that.
Margaret,
really
you can
picked
check if you
Oh,
have
okay.
notifications. Because I was like, I didn't know about the double tapping thing, so I just went to your account
Yeah.
and I like picked an old one that I hadn't liked.
I will say okay.
Because that's really nice. I didn't know that. I thought like you just had to press the like heart button.
Yeah.
So like I was like, it's in such a weird spot because I scrolled like my right hand.
It does tell you which post.
Okay, cool.
Like it has a little picture of the post next to the notification.
That's a nice photo from 2019.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I took it myself. Probably didn't. I don't know. But so, yeah, I think, I think you're just kind of screwed. I don't think there's a solved.
Yeah, I don't think there's a way to play it off really.
No.
If they,
I do
they
think
know
you
exactly
immediately
what
unlike
post.
it.
Yeah, but if they still get the notification that you liked it,
Right.
it doesn't really matter that you've since unliked it.
Yeah.
Because the notification is the bad part. I guess the only solace is that if, like I said, they get a lot of notifications, they're
Yeah.
probably not going to be like, wow, checking every single like notification to see which one they posted. They probably just get rid of them as soon as they see them, I would imagine.
So wait, if you unlike
You
it,
just
it
get
doesn't.
lost in the
No, it
crowd.
doesn't tell you if you unlike it.
Okay, I'm gonna like and then unlike one of yours. Do you get a notification?
Not that you unliked it, just that Ryan Kinney or
Oh,
don't
okay.
like
Gotcha.
your post.
There's still evidence. Okay. Well, that's also a
Yeah.
nice photo from 2019. So.
Thank you. Yeah, I think also just like it happens.
Yeah.
You know. And
I think everyone stalks other people's Instagrams. It seems fairly common.
Also, maybe this is comforting, maybe it's not. I feel like it would make the person more self-conscious than anything else. Or at least it would make me self-conscious. Like if someone like just accidentally liked a post and that, you know, knowingly that means that they were like looking through all of my posts and like potentially like talking about me with someone and like showing the posts and everything. That would make me like, oh, why were they doing that? And like think about it rather than like Oh my god, that's so embarrassing for them. Like, I would be more like, wait, what? Why? And so, yeah, I don't think it would be like, I don't know. Maybe that's comforting. It might not be.
You know what?
I do think it's
Instagram
kind of an odd
needs?
sensation, like where you're like, why do they like that post out of all
Right.
my old ones? Like, it's
Yeah.
you don't immediately jump to be like, oh, they were stalking me and it was
Yeah.
accidental. You're like, why do they look that?
Yeah, like, why
So,
that? Why did
yeah.
they choose that picture to look
It's a
at
pop
again?
puzzle.
Yeah.
I think Instagram needs like a zoom in feature because they're like someone will
It
like
does,
post a
doesn't it?
group photo. Does it?
You can
I'm
just
learning
like,
a
I
lot about
think
you
you-
can just
Instagram.
like pinch
I
things.
thought you can.
I
Yeah,
don't think it'll
pinch-
stay like
pinch
that.
zoom.
You have to like pinch and hold your fingers on it.
Just pinch the zoom like anywhere else.
Well,
I do think that's
Wow.
a new feature because I feel like I remember them not having that for a
That's
very long
okay.
time.
Wow, I guess I'm just not very good at Instagram. I was like, the like button is in a weird spot. You have to like, you can't zoom in. Now, I guess pinching is good. Cause yeah, I'd be like, oh, there's a group photo, and then I'm like, oh, who's in it? I like know some of these people, but then I'm like looking like super close.
I love this.
Get out your glasses, little
Little
monocle.
magnifying glass over your phone.
Hello.
The old person thing where they like
Yeah.
look at their phone like kind of tilted up.
Oh my god, yeah.
Hello.
Alrighty, well, go follow us on Instagram, the Reading Tuesdays podcast. But anyway, spilling your food on your clothes. I don't
It
think that's
happens.
Yeah, it
awkward.
happens.
Hot take. Oh well. Like
Yeah.
people
Yeah,
can
I
be
think-
really
Wipe it off.
I think the time has passed where
Yeah.
people would make fun of you for it. Like we're
Yeah.
not in elementary school anymore.
no.
If there are, how old are they in elementary school? 10. If there are
Yeah.
10-year-olds listening to us,
Mm-hmm.
how do you find us?
Why'd you find us?
How do you get here?
Is this
And
really
then-
a podcast?
Not that I think we're inappropriate, but I do
But we're
really
not
question-
relatable to 10-year-olds.
Yeah, we're not relatable.
Do you guys like monster trucks?
I super into Fortnite.
Fortnite. You know what I like? Dinosaurs. That's relatable, right?
Okay, Jurassic Park.
Oh my God.
It's the new miraculous. I'm
Adam
gonna
said
talk
the
about it
D
every
word.
episode.
Add it to the list of topics I can't bring
Dinosaurs.
up.
Anyway, I had a question. This is horrible.
Oh no.
Theoretically,
Okay.
if like a child was dying and like
Okay.
they gotta make a wish, and they wished that people would bring dinosaurs back, do we think we would do that as a world?
I think the world would do that. You know, have you guys seen the movie Dinosaur on Disney Plus? Like that
No,
old
but
one?
now I want to.
Yeah. Okay, watch it. They would do that. They would do something with like giant animatronic dinosaurs.
Oh.
And be, see, it's the
I thought you were saying
dinosaur-
that was the plot of the movie, and I was so excited.
Oh no,
but-
that'd be one. Well, that's in the movie. 'Cause
I
think
also
they're,
like-
they're either CGI or animatronic, right?
Sure.
Has anyone else seen
I would
that?
imagine.
I have not.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, yeah, I would imagine they would do that because they did this thing when I was little called Walking with the Dinosaurs at the rec center, and it was these giant animatronic dinosaurs that like rolled around, and it was actually really
sounds-
cool.
That sounds awesome.
Dang.
Yeah. I want to
I
do that
would
now.
love that as a kid. Yeah, and now, yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah, no, I remember it was like really cool. It was in the age of. Do you remember when they had like that live action Spider-Man play where people kept dying because
Yeah.
it was terrible?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ryan's talked about that on the podcast before.
I really wish I could see it.
Aw.
Honestly, I wish I could too, but it's like, dang, that's sad that that was not safe. But yeah, it was like in that age, so it was like that kind of a show, sort of, but like less dying people and more animatronic dinosaurs.
An interesting pivot.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
It was
zoo
cool.
that we go to has animatronic dinosaurs, but they're just okay, and they look a little weathered. I think they've been there for a while, so it would be really cool to have like movable
walked
ones you
with
can
you?
cart around. Yeah, that's awesome.
That's sick. But yeah, I think would we do it for a dying child?
I like that your
Like,
idea
actually-
is that the reason we haven't done dinosaurs yet is because
'cause
a
no one's
dying
asked.
child hasn't
Like,
suggested it. And that the
Scientists
world would
are now like, you know
mobilize
what?
all of a sudden.
Yeah, we will.
You know, it's just like, have we really thought about how many people want it? I don't think so. Anyway.
I think we definitely should.
Yeah.
Give the kid the dinos.
I think we should too. I think that's the morally right thing to do. Anyway, sending a text to someone that you didn't mean to send to them.
Happens.
Okay.
It's my greatest fear, though. I like double check who I'm sending it to
Absolutely.
frequently.
Yeah.
What kind of a text? Because there's like levels
That's a
of
great
it.
point.
I do it a lot. Like, I guess it depends. Like, I mean, like, I'll send a lot of work text oftentimes to the wrong person.
Mm-hmm.
Not like often, like not like every other text is to the wrong person, but it happens. And that's like the only experience I've had with that.
Mm-hmm.
I've had that for work. I don't think I've had it for other things.
Yeah. There was one time I accidentally sent Adam a text that I meant to send to Esther. It was about her being a Leo.
Oh.
Yeah. Just out of the blue, I was like, this
And then
isn't
Adam
meant
was
for
like,
me.
I'm not a Leo. That's not what he said, but like that was the vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like less embarrassing. 'Cause it's
No,
okay.
yeah, it's not like a saucy text. Like,
Yeah.
It's just like it's
Yo.
like, hey bestie, you're a Leo.
What's your recipe for marinara sauce?
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Oh.
I made bolognese the other week, like mushroom bolognese. It was
Oh.
tasty. Anyway,
I thought you said bowling at first. I was like, you made
I
bowling? Like, you
made
made
bowling
a bowling alley? That's
in my
pretty cool.
home. Yeah. I saw this. Oh my god. I want to go back to early quarantine when we all still had like a will, to like survive.
Back in the day.
Yeah, you remember. But I saw this one thing, where like a guy made a fully functioning skee ball
Oh.
Oh,
out of
cool.
cardboard.
That's
That's
amazing.
it was crazy.
Wow.
I was like, wow, that's
Wait, like
cool.
it registers points?
No, I do think you had to do that, but it had
Okay.
like the tunnels and everything, so it would
Right,
like send it back
right.
no matter where. Yeah,
Still, I just wanted to kind of like how
how fully functioning.
that's
Yeah.
still very impressive. But
Oh,
like,
yeah.
like what level of functioning? Like, is there electricity in there? Who knows?
I'm sure you could add it easily.
Yeah.
That'd be
Yeah.
dangerous though with cardboard.
Oh, I'm not an engineer.
Just
Esther
just
and I could make it
solder
work.
those things right in there.
Esther and Ryan can make it work. New senior project.
That'd be crazy.
It would be. Yeah. Good times. Anyway. Okay. Some of these are just not awkward. Sorry, I want it to be like tough. Okay. What if someone like points out something about your clothing? So I saw a few of these. So like your zip being down, like your zipper being down, fly. That's what people call it. I was like trying to remember that.
Why is it called a
Do
fly?
people still do that? Still call it that?
I don't
I
know.
think so.
Like your fly
I'm
is
not
down. Do people say that?
Why is it a fly?
I don't know.
I've heard.
I'll look it up.
I've always heard the phrase
I-
"being your fly is down."
I
Yeah.
think that's the phrase. I don't think I've heard that in real life for a long time.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's something you'd hear as like a kid, but I feel like people just say zipper now. Just wonder
That's
if like the linguistics have changed on that.
It's kind of crazy, but
But just is the scenario just generally pointing something out about someone's appearance?
yeah. Or like another one on here is like the tag still being on your clothing, like if it's like a new thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't think that one's embarrassing. I'd be more embarrassed if like my shirt was like on backwards or inside out.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that's a great other example for the same type of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Are we
That one's
embarrassed
just
by
straight
it?
I think
Do we feel like it's awkward? Does it matter on who says it?
I don't think it matters who.
I think it also
necessarily.
depends how you say it. You know,
Yes.
like say it in front of a
Oh,
group
for
of
sure.
people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe like the situation. Like if you were in like a professional setting, giving like a presentation, and
So
then at
it's
the
like,
end,
I have a
like,
question. Why is your fly down?
that's terrible. That's
Right.
that's not.
That's
I
a little
don't like
awkward.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty bad.
Yeah. Okay. You know.
It's like a
I think those
tension
scenarios
like-
are
yeah.
interesting because I think you've probably heard the rule that you shouldn't tell someone something they can't fix within 5 minutes. Like something
Yeah.
about their appearance, which I think is a
Yeah.
good
So
rule.
it's like if you have food in your teeth, like tell
Yeah,
them
if you
that.
do something like that. Except, I do think there's value in knowing something. Like, it's obviously annoying to be like, hey, you have this thing wrong with your appearance. You have no way of fixing it for the next foreseeable future.
Yeah.
And then they're just going to be thinking about that.
Right.
But I do think it's better to know, because sometimes you like get back to your room or bathroom or something and be like, oh yeah, I've had food in my teeth for the past multiple hours or something.
Yeah.
So I think it's better to know,
Mhm.
but I do like the rule that like you shouldn't tell someone something they can't fix pretty quickly.
I think that's like a play of a ear thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because also like I know like women will always ask each other like if we're on our period, like, hey bestie, is it showing, kind of thing. And like you should absolutely, like, if you know, obviously on a friend level, like let your friend know. Yeah, like kind of like talk with your friend and everything like that, so that like if they need to like tie something around their waist or like do whatever, so they're not walking around like that. But I don't know. No, just look out for each other, but don't be like mean. Don't be like, your hair looks like shit today. Like, don't do that. Like, I don't know.
I remember this one happened to me on like a college tour, like for law schools, and some guy was like, "Oh, you missed one of the belt loops when you put your belt." Like super easy, like innocuous thing. I don't know how he noticed it, but
that's a weird thing
regardless,
to like care about enough to comment on. Like,
yeah, I was like,
is it making your pants fall down? Like, it
no,
doesn't.
I mean my belt's still on. It hit all the other loops, so I don't know. But it was like there's something wrong with it. But it was a weird thing of like, yeah, I can't fix this, probably until I get home because I'm on this tour and
you don't want to take it
at least
off.
can't go to the bathroom until the end. But at the end, I'll just go home.
Yeah,
so.
like you can't.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard things that like there's like certain things you can't do, like you can't like adjust yourself in public, like you can't like adjust your belt in public, which I think is weird.
Right. Yeah.
I guess because then it like people assume like you're taking off your pants.
Right.
Yeah.
Like if you have to like fully take off your belt to like
because
re-loop
I'd
it,
have
like...
to. I have to like fully remove it, which definitely is a bad look in public.
Yeah. I really want to go to this law school.
I'm making a great impression.
That should be like a social experiment sort of thing. Like you just go in public and take off a belt and that's it. Just see what people do.
Oh my god. Oh Lord. Fair enough. Okay, what about ending like a call, either like ordering something or like a work phone call, or basically just someone you shouldn't be saying I love you to? What if you end it like, okay, I love you, bye? What are our thoughts?
I appreciate the love.
Okay, cool. I think that's how I would play it off too, where it's like, you know how like elementary school kids get confused and call their teachers mom a lot, or like dad.
The same thing.
Yeah, like it happens.
Just,
this is the grown version of it.
They're used to it. I think that when you have like restaurant servers or like enjoy your meal and you're like you too.
Right.
Or when people say like, a big one is when someone wishes you a happy birthday and you're like, you too. I've done that all the time.
I don't think there's been a single time I've gone to the movies and not told them to also enjoy the movie. Like,
that
like
too.
I don't think I've ever managed to think about that. Yeah.
It's like a brief awkwardness, but everybody does it, and everybody knows everybody does it, so it's gonna happen.
Fair enough. Yeah.
I am terrible with like greetings and stuff. Like I met someone today and I was like, hey, and they asked me like, what's good? And I said, oh, not much. But I didn't mean like not much isn't good. I thought it was like, what's up? And my brain connected, oh, not much is what's up, you know?
Right. Yeah.
What's good?
I'm the exact same. I have like the default response, and if you hit me up with a different question, I'm gonna give you my default, and it's not gonna fit.
Oh man, that's so funny.
Every time. I've definitely done that so many times, and then it's like, actually, that's not what I meant to say.
Yeah.
Or maybe it is, but wasn't going to tell you that.
Fair enough. I think you just gotta like be confident about it. Like you just gotta continue going on.
Confidently, nothing much.
Nothing is
Not too
good.
much. That's just life nowadays.
Dang.
Just very cheerily be like, nothing's good at all.
Ah.
What's up with you?
I mean, it's weird being on both ends because, like, the end of, like, oh man, I said the wrong response is awkward, but then it's also like, did I say the right thing? Like, I thought I said this. Like,
definitely a lot of confusion on their end as well.
mm-hmm.
I think I had a friend in high school who, like, a teacher had asked, like what's up, like what's been up, because it was like a teacher they had like freshman year, and it was like junior year or something. They saw each other in the hallway, and they just forgot the word much, so they were trying to say not much you, but they said not you. It's just so funny.
Not you.
Yeah.
That is awkward.
Yeah, but like fun, like you know. Oh man. Alrighty. Okay. Okay. What if you like bump into someone that you had canceled plans on?
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever done that.
Yeah.
I don't think I have either.
I don't think so either.
Um,
If I cancel plans, then I'm gonna like hermit and hide.
Yeah.
You're like, no one can perceive me.
I'm gonna like. You guys ever seen that meme of like Saddam Hussein on Twitter, where it's like him in the hole, and there's like a pipe? That's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna like be in a hole to cancel plans.
Oh my god. Fair enough.
That sucks though.
That would suck.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah.
At that point,
Cut them off.
Yeah, just
Never talk to them again.
burn that bridge. Leave the state. Probably the only solution.
Change your identity.
Go to witness protection.
Oh my god. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there's any coming back from that literally at all.
I don't
yeah,
think so.
unless it's like you run into them, like unless you really had a good reason to cancel those plans, and that's
Sure.
the scenario you run into them. But I doubt
Right.
that.
That seems unlikely. You gotta come up with a fast excuse. Be like,
Yeah.
my dog just got shot by an alien, and I gotta take him to the government. And that's why we so happened to meet at this random location. Where's my dog? The government took him.
Oh my god. Who's to say? He is the government.
They just end it with dog getting hurt, and then you're like, no, aliens, government, like whole conspiracy theory.
It's like that thing where you like when someone tells you a conspiracy theory, you gotta out conspiracy them. Just come up with the wildest excuse that they can't conceivably question you on it, because they're still processing what you're saying.
Yeah, and then just leave.
And then just leave.
Like, don't even give them a chance.
Oh, I gotta try that.
Or like, have you ever heard of like making excuses of like if you're late for something, like make an excuse that'll make the other person feel bad, like, oh, why were you late? It's like, oh, I was helping a deer on the side of the road, that's why I was 5 minutes late.
And you're like, wow.
Sorry, I was helping at the soup kitchen and just wanted to get 5 more bowls out.
I saved a man's life today.
Yeah.
Sorry. Next time I'll let them die. Oh my god.
What you needed me for is so important.
Yeah, I'll tell them, sorry, Joe wanted to see me today. But okay, mentioning something to someone as if it's like brand new information that you had learned, because it was brand new information that you had learned, but you forgot that you learned it from them. This is something I would do.
One.
Yeah.
Like someone tells you something and then forgetting that they were the one that told you.
And you're like, oh my god, you would love to know this piece of information, and you tell them the exact thing they told you.
I love hearing it back, because like I love hearing like the telephone of like me telling it and then seeing like how it came back.
Fair.
My girlfriend does this to me all the time. And I'll do it to her as well sometimes, but she does it far more frequently.
Yeah.
It's just kind of funny. I don't think it's as awkward.
No, I think it's just great. Like, I think that's just beauty of humanity. That's hilarious. Yeah. Do you tell them? Are you like, Yeah, I told you that.
I
Or-
always tell.
Oh, okay.
I always tell her. Yeah.
It depends.
Fair.
Is it a
Okay.
long story or is it a short story? If it's a short story, I'll hear it out. If it's a long one,
Yeah.
Fair.
I'll be like, oh, I told you this.
Yeah.
or I'll just be like, oh yeah, I know about this.
Mm-hmm.
You don't go like, I wonder where you heard that from. Oh, God. Alrighty. Well, it's time to talk about what rained in our parades this week. Or in the past, like, month. Because we haven't all been together.
Month
Yeah.
since we've all seen.
Dang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, what's been up? How's the rain?
I don't know. Classes started.
Okay.
That's been like nice and not nice. It's nice because like our like first 3 days, or we only had like 3 days for our first week, and I only did class on Thursday, so that was lovely.
Love that. Yeah.
Wow.
It's delightful.
One of my engineering classes, I am like very hesitant going into it, because like the teacher wrote one of the books and it's on back order, and he got so upset when he heard it was on back order. He's like, "Well, we need this for the first assignment." And I was like, "Yeah, it's not gonna be here for 4 weeks." So,
Nice.
God, yeah.
so who knows what's gonna go with that? But
If he wrote the book, it means he has the book to just give you. So if
It's
you
so
need it for
true.
the first assignment, just
Yeah.
Send out the first
first
chapter.
chapter.
Yeah.
Like,
who's he gonna
and-
plagiarize himself?
yeah,
Right.
himself. At my law school, they do that all the time. Well, they'll post the first few chapters of the readings on our online site, so people who might not have the book yet have access to it.
Mhm.
All of my
That's
political
so
science and
common.
philosophy professors did it too. Like, big time.
hmm
Um,
But it's your book.
yeah.
You put the whole book up there.
Yeah.
I bet you're making very little money off the sales.
I bet you could
Yeah.
also just like summarize it, like enough to make the assignment make sense. You know,
Mhm.
like
Mhm.
I don't know. Oh well.
That, and I'm taking women and gender studies, which I'm excited to
Woo.
learn about.
Yeah.
I am the only guy in that class.
Oh yeah. Pretty common.
So that's neat.
I didn't have a single guy in my class when I took
Yeah.
it.
The teacher was like going around like asking like, what's everyone want to learn about? And, like, people are listing like all these things, and I have like no idea on half the things. And I'm like, she comes to me, I'm like, I'm just happy to be here. I'll learn
Aw.
whatever, you know.
That's
I've
so
got like a very
sweet.
baseline of things, but like
Uh-huh.
I'm willing to learn. So
Love that. Yeah. I'm so excited to hear how you like the reading for that class. Because I think that is truly one of my favorite textbooks, hands down.
yeah.
Yeah. Because it's like kind of a graphic novel. It's like a graphic textbook. I don't know. It's like cool. It's neat. But yeah.
I'm excited to hear what you learn. I feel like women and gender studies is something you talk about all the time. And
Queer, a graphic history. It's like interesting. I was like
Wonderful
flipping
book.
through it. It's
Yeah.
quite neat. I didn't like, so I bought it used,
Sure.
and someone before put a ton of notes in. And I
Mm.
don't really like the notes because it's
Oh.
like, oh, I agree with this, or like, yes, this is right, and it's like you're not adding anything.
They're
to the
just
content.
hyping up the author.
Yeah. Or it's like, I disagree, but it's like, well,
Right.
explain.
Okay.
Like, I'm actually interested in
Right.
that.
Yeah.
So I had to like take out all the notes, but I think I got all of them.
as
Fair.
a quick side note, because that made me think of something. One thing that I see talked about sometimes that I just don't understand is annotating books, especially books you're reading for fun. Because why do you write it in there? Because I would imagine if I was doing that, that would be my annotations. Be like, cool,
Yes.
fun, good point. Like nothing of substance. So people who do annotate the books that they read, what do you possibly put it in there?
I do this.
Also, it's way too much work, but if you enjoy it, whatever.
I think it depends on like which type of book. I've never done it on a book that I was reading for like pleasure, unless it was a philosophy book, but that's a different type of pleasure that I get from it because that's more of like an intellectual type of thing rather than like,
Yeah,
oh, this is a
sure.
fun story. And so like with philosophy books that I read for fun or that I was reading for class, it's just like a good time to go through it and be like, especially on some of the older stuff, if you're like writing in it and you're saying like, here's exactly what was just said in this paragraph, but in my words, so I can more quickly like
Yeah,
understand
that
it on
makes sense.
rereads. Yeah, that's a big thing that I do. I have one on like a lot of stoicism because a lot of stoicism, like early stoicism, is like so close to being like liberal, but like far. And so a lot of it is like this is so close to like this type of feminism, but like not quite there, bestie. Or like different stuff like that.
Isn't Stoicism from like Alexander the Great times?
Yeah.
It's old.
Yeah, but it's fun. It's interesting. But it's like they're like, you know, like one of my favorite ones is Epicurious. I can't pronounce his name. But he's like, like his big thing, and I think I've mentioned this to you guys before. It's like one of his mentalities, like just thoughts in it, is like, you know, if we stopped treating women like sex objects, maybe they wouldn't act like sex objects and like would feel more like they were human beings. And it's like that's so close.
Whoa,
to,
if you treat people like humans.
If you treat human beings like human beings, maybe they'll have like other thoughts and interests. But yeah, it's tough. But yeah, how about you guys? What made?
I have so many
just
options.
through the book.
It's
There's
truly
some fun pictures.
favorite textbook I've ever had. Like, yeah, hands down. What are your options, Adam?
There's so many. I've said a couple of them before we started. I had this thing with my internship.
Yeah.
How's that going?
It's all right. I mean, I just started. Only had 2 days of work, but it should be good. And then my rent is increasing substantially for next year, which is quite annoying. But I guess I also talked about this before, but in Iowa, it snowed like crazy this weekend. So my girlfriend came to visit as well. So we were both snowed in. She was parked on the street, which was really rough because the snowplow pushes all the stuff up. But what was really bad from our perspective was my car. It was in the parking lot, but they like barely plowed the parking lot in that they plowed pathways and not the parking lot, which because we're online for the first 2 weeks, it's very empty. So they could have just plowed the entire parking lot and, you know, made it not snowy to drive through, but they didn't. They just plowed some paths. And so it was enough where there was a big wall of snow blocking my car in from the minimal plowing. But if I got out of that wall of snow, I backed up into just a big hunk of snow because they didn't plow the rest of the parking lot. And I didn't have a shovel or anything, so I took the scraper thing for your car, the little pick thing on the end, and that was my shovel. And my girlfriend and I took turns like just wildly digging. It was a rough time.
Have you thought about buying a shovel?
Because my girlfriend's car was in the street, and that was worse. We did buy shovels to get her car out. So one of our cars had to be free to go anywhere. Yeah. So we were just stuck, basically using our hands almost. Oh my God. Just to shovel my car out of the. It was a rough time. They did. I think the day after, they did plow the whole parking lot, so it might have just been like a priority thing. Clearly they were prioritizing other things and this didn't need to be plowed.
Sure.
Because they did do it eventually, so it was easier the next day or next 2 days to get out. But that first day right after the snow, it was like, we're not going anywhere, I guess, but we do have to go somewhere.
Yeah.
So here we're gonna try.
Fair enough.
Dang.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom was very helpful because this winter she was talking about this travel shovel that she had bought for my brother, and she's like, oh, it's the same one that you have. She never bought this for me, so I didn't have it. So when
what I thought about getting for you.
Yeah, so she's like, oh, I thought I bought that for you. So then when I told her about how my car was snowed and we didn't have a shovel, she's like, bet you really wish you had that travel shovel now. Yes, I did wish I had that travel shovel.
That's so funny. Oh my God. Yeah.
She has since purchased it for me.
Aw,
very sweet.
Thank you very much, Mom. But it was a funny moment, like, wish you had that travel shovel that I never bought you.
Jeez, yeah.
I could just imagine you trying to like shovel with the little scraper thing. Like that
sounds horrible.
It was pretty powdery, so it was you could kind of like just go at it really fast and get a
Mhm.
good chunk out and just move it to the side, so that was helpful. But the parts of the plow bit, which are hardened because they've been plowed, that was the rough part.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
you needed a real shovel for that, and I was just like kind of picking at it almost.
Mhm.
It took like an hour.
Yeah. Jeez.
Oh my god.
But then we got Olive Garden afterwards, so it was
Nice. Very
Yeah,
good.
I mean, worth it. Yeah.
Did you get a 5 cheese ziti?
of
God,
course.
it's so good.
That's what I get every single time. It's the best one there.
It's so good.
Did you make it a 6 cheese ziti?
Never.
The Parmesan? You didn't?
No, they actually didn't make that joke this time, but every single time I order, and then they offer the Parmesan, they're like, "Oh, 6 cheese ziti?" Make the same joke every single time.
Oh my god.
I don't need a 6th cheese. It's too much cheese.
Okay, 5 is not. 5 is fine.
No,
but
it's over the edge. Like
That's silly. That's your cheese limit is 5.
oh lord. How about you, Esther?
Well, talking about Olive Garden actually just reminded me of one.
Oh, yes.
They got rid of the build your own pasta, and I'm very upset.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, they did, and it was so sad. Because it happened like this was a while ago, but me and a friend went to Olive Garden, and I was like, "This is my thing. I get the build your own pasta because it's the best deal. Because it's usually like $10-ish, and like that's not bad for Olive
It is
Garden.
cheaper, yeah.
Yeah.
The 5 cheese ziti, as good as it is, it's like $15. So.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
So I was trying to get that, and then they're like, "So we discontinued that," and I was like, "What? When did this happen?" And it happened the day before,
Oh.
literally the day before.
Whoa.
That is awful timing. Oh my god.
I was so upset. I had to order
Yeah.
normal spaghetti like a savage. It was so sad.
Mhm.
That is so upsetting to hear.
Only maybe to make it worse, I looked it up and it's still available to order on their website. So it might have just been the location you were at. It was like, oh, we don't do that anymore.
Mhm.
Honestly,
Seems like
probably.
insult to injury.
You're,
We just don't do that for Esther.
Yeah. They saw Esther come in and she's like, she's gotten this before. Not let her.
We're gonna
Take it
make
off
her
the
try
menu.
something new.
Your timing thing reminded me. So, do you guys remember the restaurant in our town called Flat Top Grill?
Yeah.
It's like a stir fry place, and you could like make your own stir fry. I know we went there as a staff once.
Yeah, it was
Um,
pretty good.
Yes.
Good.
It closed down when COVID came,
Sure.
Oh,
which was
thanks.
very sad because I liked it. But
They
it reopened.
did burn the rice frequently, but that's okay.
Yes. It did reopen. And it's under a new name called Genghis Grill. And I was like, wow, this new place just opened. I'm going to go check it out. So, like, me and a couple of friends, we went there Friday night. Little did we know when we pulled up, there was a giant balloon that said grand opening. It had, like, literally just opened. And
That's
we
amazing.
went there. We had to wait for 30 minutes, which was fine because, like, it's in a mall. So we just went and did some shopping. But then we got there. It literally took 3 hours for us to get our food. It was very rough, and the food was just okay.
Was your rice burnt?
It was not burnt, which was good.
Okay.
I went to that place like maybe 3 times, and I think they burn my rice every single time.
Damn. Yeah.
Mhm. I would recommend the restaurant. Just like don't go for like a month.
Right. Fair enough. All right. Glowing reviews.
Yeah.
Fair. Trying to think of what mine was. Talked about it before we started recording. James Franco. I don't like him.
Oh, really? That's like a what ran in your parade.
Do you know, I watched the first Spider-Man movie, and he just made me uncomfy. I was just like,
Yeah,
ew.
you know what? So
This guy.
curious. We started about talking about Spider-Man, and on a vaguely Spider-Man related.
Yeah,
topic.
it's a bookend.
To circle back again, talking
it-
about embarrassing moments.
To circle back. Ew.
At the place we went to, they like said like the meal was free, which was very nice. But then another server lady said it's gonna be free and we're gonna give you dessert. And we waited around for 20 minutes and there was no dessert. And we're all like, we're sort of ready to go. Like I
Yeah.
don't really care about the dessert. So we
Yeah.
asked the first waiter, and it was very awkward because we're like, someone promised us dessert. Now, granted, you already gave us the meal for free, which was very nice. Is the dessert coming or is it not? If it's not coming, we're okay. But like, we don't want to like leave, and you guys have prepared this dessert for all these people, and then us
Sure.
just not be there and have dipped, because that's also rude. So
Right.
like, which one is it? There's a whole thing to explain.
Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, alrighty. I think we cured awkwardness
Yeah.
today.
Wow.
Oh,
We're
I was gonna
changing
mention
lives.
this. Actually,
Oh, okay.
a good point on awkwardness. Imagine how much you think about yourself. Everybody else thinks about
Same.
themselves the same amount. So whenever you're feeling awkward,
They don't
nobody
care.
is thinking about you. They're thinking about themselves.
Yeah.
So it should be a little bit of solace. That's what I always remind myself after I do something awkward, which is fairly frequently. I'm like, you're the only person who remembers this.
Yeah.
No one else was paying attention to you because they were thinking about themselves.
Absolutely.
I have a rebuttal for that.
Oh no.
This could have been my rain on my parade. I was crossing the street at Bradley, and most of you know that crosswalk, the four-way one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I was the only one crossing at the time, and it was very icy out. So I was starting to cross, and I slipped.
Oh,
No.
Well, like, I did like a, you know how like breakdancers
cartoons?
move where they
Oh.
go back on their hands. I did that.
I was hoping you did the cartoon one where you like kind of like ran a little bit on it first and then whoop.
No.
Fair.
I just did like a little like it was like a breakdance move.
Then it's cool.
Coins like it was
Yeah.
little
No, it's
things,
not
like,
awkward
I
at
got help, and I just walked awkwardly the rest of the way across the. But I was like, I feel like that's. I mean, maybe I was definitely overhyping it, but it just was. It was one of those times where I was like, well, nobody else is going anywhere. This
Fair. Yeah.
captive audience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys will have to watch this moment.
is.
One, I'll throw in another one just because James Franco probably wasn't rainy enough. But the door thing, when you push it and it's a pull, or you pull it and it's a push, it happens to me too much.
I literally did that on my first day of my internship,
No.
where I did that exact same thing. I did the wrong one. And
Yeah.
of course, always when you
Everyone's
do that,
there.
people are watching, but there's also a sign right at eye level that tells you
Oh.
exactly what you're to do, and you're like,
I need the
No,
sign to be
I'm
right
just
next
gonna-
to the door handle because that's where
yes,
I'm
that's
looking.
where my eyes are going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty. I hope everyone's doing well. I'm so happy we could all be back together again.
Yeah.
Boys are back.
Boys are back in town.
Boys are back in town.
I want you
And
guys to
Esther's
break
with
into
us.
High School Musical, like
Yeah.
back.
Alrighty.
Choreographed dance.
Yeah, it's very cool. Anyway, have a sunny Wednesday.
Bye.
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 Bye, guys.